48時間前。
Oh, I do apologize. Am I disturbing you?
No, please. Do come in, Mrs.
My name is Miss Alice de Bouvier. I'm Mr. Holmes' new neighbor.
Oh, I didn't have the pleasure to... I am Dr. John Watson. Could we provide you with any assistance?
She is not the concern, Watson.
I'm... Then, what is this about?
That child standing sniffling behind her. Get rid of him, Watson.
But he is shivering with cold. And he is upset. What happened to him?
Little Tom knocked at the wrong door.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Oh, boy, come in. Warm yourself by the fire. Can I offer you a cup of tea, Miss de Bouvier?
Well,
It is not as though we are disturbing you-know-who. Are we?
I suppose not.
Since you are our new neighbor, it is perhaps better that you know what he's like.
You're starting to worry me.
Well, Mr. Holmes is relapsing. This illness that he has seizes him when he finds himself with nothing to do. He becomes completely asocial. And alas, this is a very difficult, medically incurable case. Now this must stay between us.
Of course, I understand. How very sad.
But there is a cure, if only a temporary one. A thrilling inquiry. Most certainly. If he refuses this one, then his condition will worsen.
Oh, I am still here, you know. I didn't fall out of the window. Very well, then.
Thank you, miss.
トムは8歳。着古した服には継ぎはぎがいくつもあり、きれいに修繕されている。トムの両親は彼の幸福を願っている。青白い肌から彼が栄養失調であることがわかる。充血している。おそらく結膜炎なのだろう。トムの1000点以上は妊娠中の母親の栄養不足が原因かもしれない。
Now tell me, boy, what brings you here?
It's my father, sir. He's missing. I don't know what to do.
What's his name?
George Hurst, sir.
Missing, eh? And what do the police say?
The police, they don't believe me. They say he's just abandoned me. But that's a lie.
なんだ今のは。
And when was the last time you saw him?
3 weeks ago. He left for a new job. But this time, he was acting a bit strange and angry.
Strange. In what way?
He said to me, "Son, I'm out on a special job. Don't you dare move from here." I think something went wrong.
3 weeks? That's a long time.
Well, every day I thought he would show up. And anyway, I can look after myself.
なんだろう、あれは。わからんな。
Very well. Your address, please, Tom.
12 Dorset Street, the first floor, door E. It's in Whitechapel, sir. But I ain't got no money to pay.
Who asked for money, Tom? Your case seems to be the very medicine I need. I'll meet you there shortly.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Vashtal について操作せよ。ファースト系をターズ操作せよ。
My analysis table. It's useful for my work.
Poor child. Holmes, you should help him.
Brave Toby. Best nose in the British Empire. These streets are too narrow for the cab. I'll have to walk. Whitechapel High Street. North Street. Dorset Street.
Dorset Street 12番1階号室。
Dorset Street.
Tis our home, Mr. Holmes. Please, sir, find my father.
So that's why you came to see me. Tom probably reads at night. A collection of worn-out and second-hand books. George Hurst was providing his son with the best education that he could afford.
Father bought all those books for me. He didn't tell me, but I know that he pawned his coat for them.
So that's why you came to see me. Tom probably reads at night. Tom probably reads at night. Tom probably reads at night. A collection of worn-out and second-hand books. George Hurst was providing his son with the best education that he could afford.
Father bought all those books for me. He didn't tell me, but I know that he pawned his coat for them.
Food's running low. It's already 3 weeks since George Hurst's disappearance. Well, I can see the preparations for peasant soup, a clever concoction for somebody with apparently no culinary skills. Hurst covered his bills ahead of time, thus providing Tom with security and sustenance.
My mother, sir, she died when I was very young. My father told me what she was like, but that's all I have.
I'm sorry, Tom. My mother left me when I was very young too.
The roof leaks all the time. Father used to fix it.
George Hurst's work was varied. He was evidently a hard-working and valuable hand. Old clothes, soiled and worn. Old clothes, soiled and worn. It's too dark. I can't see anything.
そっか。さっきのろうそくか。あとは、これ僕だね。緑になってるところに行くことか。
A leather satchel, what's in it?
「やあジョージ、元気にしているか。まだ手のかかる息子を抱えながら仕事を見つけるのは大変だろう。そこでだ、この手紙に酒場のチラシを同封しておいた。そこで何やら特殊な仕事の担い手を募集している男がいるらしい。ひょっとしたらお前の役に立つかもしれない。頑張れよ。家賃を先払いしている。
Just some old things.
I hope you'll find my father soon. Please, sir, find my father. I hope you'll find my father soon.
そうはなんもないか。でもどうすればいいんだこれ。多分この中のものはやりきったっぽいか。 他の人が見落としそうな細部にまで目を配りながら確認しよう。紙切れ。
The old Tabard pub, North Street. The old Tabard pub, North Street. The old Tabard pub, North Street. The old Tabard pub, North Street.
そこ行けばいいってことか。こうやって何かが分かるってことか。ストリートのパブに行くのか。ストリート。それかパブ。そうするとなんか。
North Street. I don't feel thirsty right now. I don't feel thirsty right now. The old Tabard pub, North Street. The old Tabard pub, North Street. The old Tabard pub, North Street. Glue. Probably taken from a wall.
なるほど。そこまで見ないといけないんだね。タバードパブ、ホワイトチャペルで最高のビールとエールを提供。ノースストリート。なるほど。
Good day, Mr. Holmes.
Well, if it isn't young Wiggins. And I see you found yourself a job.
If you can call it that. I hate it. But if you've got any proper work for me...
I just might be in need of your assistance later. Wait here.
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
I need to Earwick to find out who is offering this special job.
盗聴とは
The longer the picket line, the shorter the strike.
No. That fellow who's offering the special jobs, he never drinks alcohol.
すげえな。
The child labour law sent your kids to school instead of the coal mine.
Equality for the working class.
I'm glad I'm my own boss. I can complain only to myself. Or to Watson.
The man who's offering that special job has a proper set of mutton chop whiskers.
So, the man I'm looking for has whiskers and never drinks alcohol.
Dump the bosses off your backs.
It's not him.
Dump the bosses off your backs.
This must be the man that I'm looking for. Interesting. A missing person. I should find out more.
Pub が増えただけか。でさっきの子供か。
You see that gentleman? I need you to follow him and report back to me.
All right, Mr. Holmes.
Don't lose him.
Whitechapel never changes. Dirt and beggars everywhere. I couldn't pay the rent last week.
Pumpkin, cabbage, cheap.
They won't let me pass. I'll need to find another way.
Rich folk feed meat to their dogs.
Living costs are too much these days. My son has to work down the sewers. He's only 7.
What are you waiting for?
Ah, boys from the Bruisers gang. Better keep out of their way.
Stop crying and get to work. Take a brush and get in there.
I'll be able to continue the chase if I climb up the chimney, but it's dangerous.
Stupid kid.
Please.
Go on.
He's still here, that's a relief.
てる。イケメンじゃん。
おはようございます。
おはようございます。こういうことか。
What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor early in the morning?
No place to hide here. I'd better go through the yard.
Oi! What are you doing in my garden?
Look at that crawling rat.
「私も2週間前にクリアしました」。
あ、そうなんですね。
I know that boy. He's Shoeshine Jim from Chamber Street. He's mute because his drunk stepfather beat. Hey Jim, can you lend me your kit? I'm on a secret mission for Mr. Holmes. It's dirty. I should use a damp cloth.
Hurry up. Did you fall asleep? What are you doing?
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I'm still learning.
はい。
He's talking with a cabbie. I need to get closer. Damn. I need to find another one.
At last, the weather's good. Last week was freezing.
I'm saying it doesn't get cold again. I've not managed the cold.
I can't lose him now.
Well, first of all,
Ah, I've lost him.
なんだ、X をしてゲームを駆使して戦った。
I can't lose him now.
こういうことか。
Interesting. What's going on in the yard? Wow, a lot of expensive stuff. It's too dangerous to enter. I can't see what's inside. It's too dangerous to enter. Locked. I can't leave yet. I'm not finished here. Ah, a coat of arms. It might help Mr. Holmes. I'll make a drawing of it. I can't leave yet. I'm not finished here. It's too dangerous to enter. I can't see what's... I can't see what's inside. I can't see what's inside. Do only 2 people live here? I wish one was me. Bags of food. I like this house. Time to report to Mr. Holmes. Let's get outside before I get caught.
Wigan's tale was quite unusual. What do you make of what he found, Holmes?
Wiggins did a good job. That's not the one I need. 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 Here it is. So this man could be Lord Marsh. Huh. A lord who hangs around in a public house. Let's pay a visit to Lord Marsh. We'll pretend that we're interested in his charitable activities.
Mr. Holmes, you have a visitor.
Oh, just ask him to wait.
I'm afraid that won't be possible. This young lady refuses to wait for anything.
What?
Father!
Caitlin!
Miss Caitlin's boarding school was flooded. Everyone was sent home.
As if it could smell any mustier.
My word, how is it possible that you have grown up so fast?
You'll be staying. Wherever will we put you?
Holmes, I'll give her my room, of course.
What do you have to say, Kate?
You're on a new case. A respectable lady who's being blackmailed? Or is it a love story between a prince and a suffragist?
However did you guess?
You will tell me, won't you, Father?
We'll see, if you behave.
All right, then. Have fun. I'll go and unpack. Will you help me, Mrs. Hudson?
It's wonderful to have Kate home.
Go, Mr. Holmes. I'll take care of everything.
It's wonderful to have Kate home. Holmes, about Caitlin.
Yes?
She has grown up, hasn't she? Don't you think it's time to tell her?
To tell her what, Watson?
Well, about her father.
Never. Absolutely never. Do you hear me?
Holmes, you were responsible for the death of her father. You owe her the truth. She is old enough now.
I would lose her. Can't you see that? She must never know, Watson. Is that clear?
Holmes.
It won't and can't happen.
Come in, please. Good day, gentlemen. Welcome to my home. How may I help you?
Good day to you, Lord Marsh. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is my friend and colleague, Dr. Watson.
正確な人物。推理が当たってねえってことか。
I hope we're not disturbing you. You are with your physician?
Yes, this is Dr. Reuben Fisher. But no, please, I'm intrigued by your visit, Mr. Holmes.
I'm glad to hear it. The last thing I'd wish is to upset the patient. Lord Marsh, can I just say that I admire all of your efforts in assisting the poor of London?
Yes. It is a war that we must fight, on our streets and now, too, from my home. You must surely have noticed those bags full of items, clothing and books for the unfortunate.
That is inspirational. At my own humble level, I too try my best to support those in need. I thought perhaps that I could be of some assistance.
I don't see why not. I already have the valuable assistance of Dr. Fisher, who happens to be my personal physician.
It's curious. Your face seems familiar to me, Doctor. Oddly, I'm associating it with Whitechapel?
Well done. You are right. I do occasionally frequent a few hostelries over there, would you believe it? Not that I am a drinker. But there, dressed as a working man, I can approach the other fellows to see if they might be interested in a special job.
A special job? May I ask what you're referring to?
Certainly. Since Lord Marsh began his special education program in 1889, he foresaw that such people would need an occupation of some kind. And so, with or without education, we propose these opportunities to work with Lord Marsh. It offers the less fortunate a chance to help make London a better place.
That's remarkable.
Yes, indeed. In order to truly see, one requires vision, yes? But also insight. And Lord Marsh has believed this since he was a child.
Oh, Dr. Fisher makes it all sound so romantic. Let's close this topic.
Forgive me, Lord Marsh. You're looking very pale. Might I offer Dr. Watson's assistance?
That is kind of you. But I feel confident that I can provide Lord Marsh with the care that he requires.
How long have you been like this, my lord?
I'm fine, Dr. Watson. Don't...
おはようございます。
おはようございます。何を提示する？証拠。
In that case, why are you taking such powerful painkillers?
Excuse me, what do you mean?
Mr. Holmes is referring to the pills on your table.
I'm sorry, but that's a medical confidentiality. Lord Marsh believes that he can help all these poor people.
Is there something else that interests you?
Lord Marsh even helps hospitals.
Lord Marsh believes that he can help all these poor people. Lord Marsh believes that he can help all these...
Despite my title, yes, I have to share my home with these bags full of food for the poor. Is there something else that interests you?
I'm intrigued by the special education program. I'm intrigued by the special education program.
I've never seen so many provisions for the poor, and certainly not in a lord's house. It appears that Lord Marsh spent a great deal of his money on aiding the poor. A provision dealing with the paupers of Whitechapel. Lord Marsh, hunting with his friends.
Ah, my dear comrades, Lord Collins and Lord Harrington. If it wasn't for this godforsaken English malady, I'd be with those rapscallions right now.
All in due time, my lord.
Last year, 3 orphans were put through medical college. Thanks to Lord Marsh and the special education program, a great many poor people will have a second chance in life. Thanks to Lord Marsh and the special education program, a great many poor people will have a second chance in life. I've never heard of this man. I've never heard of this man. I've never heard of this man. John Strobridge. I've seen this name before. It was on a missing persons poster. I can't quite work it out. Do you have any idea as to the number of people who might owe you their lives?
Oh, don't embarrass me, Mr. Holmes. But indeed, these people have become like a family to me.
That would be a fairly large family, I imagine.
Yes, the list would be longer than any of your short stories. As for how large, well, Fisher is the one who keeps record.
Might we take a glance at the list?
I regret that is impossible. It is confidential. I stand firm upon that point, Mr. Holmes.
I quite understand. We'll most certainly send a donation towards your educational program. I shall take my leave then. I thank you both and I wish you all the very best, gentlemen.
Likewise, Mr. Holmes.
赤く表示される場合はそれに関わらないといけないことを示している。 ジョージ・ハウスとの特殊な仕事は特別教育課程とは関係がない。つながり、ジョージ・ハウスとの言う特別な仕事と宗教の特別な点がある。ここで変えるってことか。
I'm intrigued by the special education program.
Aid for the paupers of Lambeth Workhouse. Humanitarian aid for an orphanage. It's extremely honourable to devote one's whole life to a... Locked. Bags full of food. It's shut tight. It's closed.
これっていいのかな。会話内で尋ねる。そういうことか。
Mr. Holmes, do you have any news about my father?
Tom, not so fast. I wanted to ask you if you remember your father mentioning anything about a special education program.
An education program? No, he only talked about a special job.
What's this box, Tom?
Oh, yeah. I just found it, Mr. Holmes. It was ever so well hidden. I've no idea why.
Well done, my boy. It could prove very helpful. Wolfjack. Looks like a military badge. This oil can also be used on weapons. This oil can also be used on weapons. A ramrod to clean a rifle. Tom, does your father own a rifle?
A rifle? No. If he had, he would have shown it me.
I'm sure that he wouldn't have shown it you. I need to find this rifle. This scrap of cloth was used to oil a firearm. Tom, does your father have any other property?
No. At least I don't think so.
I have to take Toby. He'll take a sniff of the oil, and we'll find that rifle.
なるほど。
Come on, Toby. It's time for you to earn your keep. Watson?
I prefer to visit Lord Marsh. I'm worried about the condition of his health. I prefer to visit Lord Marsh. I'm worried...
Search, Toby, search. Nothing that could interest me. People use this cellar for storage. Pile of rubbish. Just some old things. It's not here. Old things. Ordinary storage. Tom's photograph. Let's try to get inside. There's no space for this lockpick.
死んだということだ。こんなことになってすまない。これ以外に方法がなかったことをどうか分かってくれ。お前はとても賢い子だ。お父さんはお前のことをとても誇りに思っている。いつかこのことを理解しお父さんを許してくれる日が来ることを願いたい。息子よ心から愛している。大人になるにはあっという間だ。だから望みを知らずに幸せになってくれ。お前は一人じゃない。お父さんもお母さんも天国からお前を見守っている。お前を心から愛している父親より。
Let's compare this list with the evidence that we found earlier. This is the list of selected participants for October's special education program. According to this poster, John Strobridge is missing. Let's compare them with people from Hearst documents. This man appears in both documents. All the people in Marsh's document are marked and dated in George Hurst's files. News clippings on Lords in the education program. Why are they here?
まあ宗教は友人のハリントン教をコリンズ教祖教徒でこうなっている独立教育家庭の創設者。マシングがより良い生活と豊かな未来を築くための援助をしている。この3人の真摯の尽力に悲惨な生活水準が向上していることは疑いようがない事実だ。
There was something on the stand.
ジョージ、俺もよくわかるよ。なんとも話し事だ。俺も君と同じに足元も雑用すらも見つからない毎日だ。子供たちはずっと何も食べられないけど、職を探そうとしてもみんな決まって言うんだ。怪我のあるやつに働いてほしくないとさ。俺らの兵役なんて何の意味もない。俺たちを戦争で使った。だが今じゃ俺らは見捨てられたも同然だ。誰も俺らのことなんて気にしていないさ。君の友人ジャック。感情、私、フレドリック・ラッセルバーン。軍港、将校はグレートブリテン、北アイルランド連合王国のビクトリア女王陛下の名をもとに、グレートブリテン、北アイルランド連合王国の勇敢な兵役を務めたとし、ジョージ・ハーストを名誉ある軍人とたたえ、ここに感謝の意を表する。陸軍はここに勲章を授け、彼を交渉の理由にて退役させようとする。
This case must have been full of cartridges. There was something on the stand. There was a rifle here. George Hurst took it with him.
地下室。モンスター地下室ってここだな。まだ何かあるってことか。
A map of Epping Forest.
完了。宗教の家に忍び込む特別見物に関するさらなる情報を明らかにする。 よいしょ。
Holmes, what are you doing here? What are you planning?
A mission of my own. You must play the role of the conscientious doctor while I sneak inside Marsh's house. That's the only way of helping little Tom. This is not the best way to sneak in.
ですよね。勝手口みたいなとこから行くんですね。
The window is firmly shut.
ここもでも閉まってたんだよな。もう開くのか。ああ、そういうことか。
There's no space for this lockpick. There's no space for this lockpick.
How can I help you?
I came to visit Lord Marsh.
What for?
I would very much like to see Lord Marsh, if you please.
Oh, you're so clumsy. Can you please not...
I have to visit Lord Marsh and offer him my services.
Fisher, please, allow Dr. Watson to enter.
Good job, Watson.
Now, 至る前特別教育課程は200人以上もの人々を貧しい身分から救い出してきた。そして破滅する帝国の重要な基礎を築き上げる働きに貢献できるまでに至っている。これはひとえに革新的で思慮深い政治家である宗教の知恵と同殺力のおかげである。傲慢で排他的な同僚たちによるいかなる妨害や批判をものともせず、この分野で偉大な活動を成し遂げているのだ。どういうことだ。そういうことか。コリンズ教、この帝国を運営していくために必要な多くのことを普段我々に足毛にされている者たちから学ぶことができるのは明らかだ。我々の町、国、そして外国の陰で貧しく腹を空かせて生きている人々、彼らから学ぶべきなのだよ。こう移動させてあれするってことか。特別教育課程のおかげで私の人生はすっかり変わりました。どう感謝しているのか分からず、この花をあなたに選びました。ありがとう。終わった。そういうことね。
I can hide here. Lord Marsh is a keen hunter.
それだけか。
Let's see how hard to crack this safe is.
Doctor, it appears that you were impatient to pay me another visit.
Indeed. Will you allow me to examine you? A second opinion, so that the great Lord Marsh does not become the late Lord Marsh.
Well, since you put it that way, very well.
Shall I retire to your office, Lord Marsh?
No, please, Doctor. I insist that you stay. I shall need your assistance.
Will you break anything else?
I'll try my best.
Mr. Holmes? What are you doing here?
そういうことか。はいはい。
Will you break anything else?
I'll try my best.
Mr. Holmes?
間に合わなかった。
What are you doing here? Will you break anything else?
I'll try my best.
音が聞こえる場所が見つからない文字盤を回し正しい組み合わせを確かめよう。文字盤を回せ。こういうことか。彼らはまるで吹き抜ける爽やかな風のようだ。彼らと触れ合うのは実に楽しい。何より我々と違い非常に頭がいいからね。もしかすると本当は彼らは貴族たる者たちで、国は災いの方なのかもしれない。
November 7th. This means that the meeting is planned for today.
宗教7月7日の会合はグランストンオークで始めましょう。迷わないよう手紙と一緒に地図も同封いたしました。終わりか。
I'd suggest that your current weakness is perhaps more than a simple case of influenza, Lord Marsh.
Where might your companion be, Dr. Watson?
Oh, he's busy poking his nose into other people's business, I'm sure.
Dr. Watson, what are you doing?
My lord, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I must remind you about your meeting.
Is it already time? My apologies, Dr. Watson, but we are expected elsewhere. Might we offer you a lift?
You are going out? I'm not sure that's wise in your condition.
I value your opinion, but misery never rests, and I am needed.
Well, do please take good care of yourself, Lord Marsh. I'll send you my diagnosis, Dr. Fisher.
Thank you, Dr. Watson. Farewell.
Watson, what are you doing at my table?
I just need to check one thing about Lord Marsh. My intuition tells me that Lord Marsh is hiding something about his disease. His cough, in addition to his fever and his usage of strong painkillers, leads me to believe that he is seriously ill. Let's study it more closely. Sputum with tiny drops of blood. I could take a sample and examine it under the microscope. I need to take a sample of it using the glass rod. Let us apply chemicals to color the sample. I need a pipette. This chemical should be applied third. Now, let's examine the colored sample under the microscope. I need a sample first. mycobacterium. It appears that Lord Marsh is seriously ill. Holmes, this is no longer a laughing matter. It is just as I feared. Lord Marsh is suffering from tuberculosis.
You don't say.
Yes, I do say. And Holmes, he will die if he is not transferred to a sanatorium as soon as possible.
And yet both Lord Marsh and Dr. Fisher are doing their best to hide this fact. How interesting.
But why?
Why indeed, Watson?
Oh, dear God. You don't think that Lord Marsh contracted tuberculosis while aiding the poor? How terrible. I have a commitment that I can't possibly cancel. Holmes, during my absence, please be extremely careful. This disease is highly contagious. And remember that we have women at home.
Thank you, Miss Alice. Until later.
I'll see you soon, Caitlin.
Where have you been?
Our neighbour lent me a book. She is so kind. I think she likes you.
I doubt that.
How is your investigation going?
It's going. Dracula?
Yes. It's forbidden reading at my boarding school. Did you know?
Well, well.
This is so romantic.
My analysis table. It's useful for my work.
ジャックとは半分狼半分のウサギのこと。ロバット偵察隊が自ら自身の愛称として使われていた。ロバット偵察隊は陸軍で初めての公式の射撃団になった。
Here it is.
グランストンオーク。
map of London and its surroundings.
でもここで調べるんだよな。なんだ。
That's not the one I need. That's not the one I need.
違う。
My archive. I can always cons- That's not the one I need.
グラッドストーン。あ、クシャワー。グランドストーンだ。何とそんなの。
That's not the one I need. That's not the one I need.
どこで調べるってことだ。
That's not the one I need.
チーズだよな。
That's not the one I need. That's not the one I need.
スキップってなんだ。わかんないな。進展がない。進展がない。調べるんだろうけど、何を調べればいいんだ。もう関係ねえな。
That's not the one I need. That's not the one I need. That's not.
違うよね。
That's not.
はーい。
That's not the one. That's... That's not the one I need. That's not... That's not the...これは完全に紋章だもんな。A map of London and its surrounding. A map of... Well, well. Sweet slumber after a hard-working day. On my pillow, my analysis table. It's useful for my work.
This is so romantic. I can't wait to tell all my friends about this. It is thrilling. It is thrilling.
This is Kate's room. It's private. My archive. I can always consult with it if needed. My archive. That's not the one I need. That's not the one I need.
どこで検索するだからやっぱりここで検索しなきゃダメだな。
That's not.
片っ端から見てるかわかんねえから。
That's not. That's. That's. That's.
まあでもこの辺は全然関係ないだろうな。地図に、じゃあ地図に関するプランがないもんな。着地点か。お、
Here it is. Cranston's Oak is in Epping Forest. That's the place indicated on George Hurst's map. My archive. I can always consult with it if needed.
地図で見つける。今度はその地図行けばいいと。
Let's try to find the place from the hand-drawn map.
この中から探せと。こうやってどっか一致するのか。きっとそういうことだな。3本上に出てる。 だな。3本上に出てる。違うか。これか？これだ。
Here it is. Drat. I'll need to hurry if I want to find out what's going on at the forest.
Father, that boy Wiggins, does he come here very often?
He helps occasionally in some of my cases. Why do you ask?
I'd like to talk to him.
Talk to him?
Father, back at school there are only girls to talk to, and they are so boring. I'm sure Wiggins has lots of exciting stories to tell about his life in London. It would be so romantic.
Oh, Kate, I know what you're like. You'll terrify him. He won't dare to come back here again.
Is that what you think?
Oh, Kate.
I'll leave.
飛ばしちゃった。でここに繋がるわけか。
Let's see how long you can stay alive. Where is he?
He was poor. This man was killed recently. The body is still warm.
Find him, boys! Find him! You scampering little rat!
Right there.
Here you are! Hungry today! Where have you gone? Gotcha!
なんで撃たれた？
Here you are! I like to call this the swamp of despair! I like to call this the swamp of despair! You scampering little rat! You won't get far! Here you are! You won't get far! I'm following your tracks! You won't get far!
My God, it's Lord Harrington's body. He was killed by a shot to the forehead. My health is deteriorating. I need to dress my wound. I can hide here. I can hide here. The Quartermain Club. This must be Lord Marsh's cabin. This will help to dress my wound. Someone's coming, I better hide.
Breathe, Lord Marsh. It's almost over.
Who are you?
George Hurst from the 1st Lovett Scouts, here to deliver justice.
An old soldier. How ironic. Did we refuse you on our special education program?
It's true, I was refused. An old wounded soldier is useless to you, but he can still be dangerous.
We hunted a lot in these woods, but I didn't expect to become the prey. I have lived a grand life without any limits set by others. I will die a happy man, so you won't see me begging, you festering wretch.
Prepare to meet your maker.
I should decide what to do before leaving the cupboard.
推理空間であなたの結論を出してください。ああ、間違えちゃった。間違えた。
George, lower your rifle, please, for Tom's sake.
Holmes! My, an almost worthy opponent.
Tom? My Tom? If you've endangered my lad in any way, you will pay dearly.
I assure you that Tom is safe in London with a well-trusted friend. And now it's time to end this.
By all means.
George Hurst, you have killed enough people. Your insanity ends today. Drop your gun. You may have wounded me, but I won't miss you.
If I ever had you in my aim, I wouldn't have merely wounded you.
Oh, the best detective in England.
Detective, take a look here.
This is how you became sick, Lord Marsh. The beheading of your victims who were suffering from tuberculosis was what infected you. Poetic justice. I was wrong.
The best detective in England.
Enough! You'll die here, Lord Marsh, and you'll die slowly.
Mr. Hurst, you've already served brutal justice to Lord Harrington and I hope Lord Collins and Dr. Fisher. Taking that into consideration, you may as well kill Lord Marsh and end the Quartermain Club completely. No loose ends.
難しいね。すると
George, lower your rifle, please, for Tom's sake.
Holmes! My, an almost worthy opponent.
Tom? My Tom? If you've endangered my lad in any way, you will pay dearly.
I assure you that Tom is safe in London with a well-trusted friend. And now it's time to end this.
By all means.
George Hurst, your bloodlust ends today. You should have been apprehended weeks ago, before you killed Strobridge out of jealousy. Drop your gun. You may have wounded me, but I won't miss you.
If I ever had you in my aim, I wouldn't have merely wounded you.
Oh, the best detective in England.
Detective, take a look here.
This is how you became sick, Lord Marsh. The beheading of your victims who were suffering from tuberculosis was what infected you. Poetic justice. I was wrong.
The best detective in England.
Enough! You'll die here, Lord Marsh, and you'll die slowly.
I understand your view, Mr. Hurst. I really do, but I couldn't allow you to continue.
ろいろ試してみよう。これしか結論出ねえんだよな。やっぱり小屋からダメってことだ。やっぱこれしかないんだね。
George, lower your rifle, please, for Tom's sake.
Holmes! My, an almost worthy opponent.
Tom? My Tom? If you've endangered my lad in any way, you will pay dearly.
I assure you that Tom is safe in London with a well-trusted friend. And now it's time to end this.
By all means.
George Hurst, you have killed enough people. Your insanity ends today. Drop your gun. You may have wounded me, but I won't miss you.
If I ever had you in my aim, I wouldn't have merely wounded you.
Oh, the best detective in England.
Detective, take a look here.
This is how you became sick, Lord Marsh. The beheading of your victims who were suffering from tuberculosis was what infected you. Poetic justice. I was wrong.
The best detective in England.
Enough! You'll die here, Lord Marsh, and you'll die slowly.
I understand your view, Mr. Hurst. I really do, but I couldn't allow you to continue. George, lower your rifle, please, for Tom's sake.
Holmes! My...
Tom? My Tom? If you've endangered my lad in any way, you will pay dearly.
I assure you that Tom is safe in London with a well-trusted friend. And now it's time to end this.
By all means.
George Hurst, your bloodlust ends today. You should have been apprehended weeks ago, before you killed Strobridge out of jealousy. Drop your gun. You may have wounded me, but I won't miss you.
If I ever had you in my aim, I wouldn't have merely wounded you.
Oh, the best detective in England.
Detective, Take a look here.
This is how you became sick, Lord Marsh. The beheading of your victims who were suffering from tuberculosis was what infected you. Poetic justice. I was wrong.
The best detective in England.
Enough! You'll die here, Lord Marsh, and you'll die slowly.
I understand your view, Mr. Hurst. I really do, but I couldn't allow you to continue.
これやっぱ無罪で、あれだな、貴族を殺すのが正解かな。
George, lower your rifle, please, for Tom's sake.
Holmes! My, an almost worthy opponent.
Tom? My Tom? If you've endangered my lad in any way, you will pay dearly.
I assure you that Tom is safe in London with a well-trusted friend. And now, it's time to end this.
By all means.
George Hurst, you have killed enough people. Your insanity ends today. Drop your gun. You may have wounded me, but I won't miss you.
If I ever had you in my aim, I wouldn't have merely wounded you.
Oh, the best detective in England.
Detective, take a look here.
This is how you became sick, Lord Marsh. The beheading of your victims who were suffering from tuberculosis was what infected you. Poetic justice. I was wrong.
The best detective in England.
Enough! You'll die here, Lord Marsh, and you'll die slowly.
I understand your view, Mr. Hurst. I really do, but I couldn't allow you to continue.
まだ続くのか。とりあえず今日はここまでかな、今回は。